Sorry, guys. I was just vibing to the beats. And welcome back to Onslaught Gaming 40K, Rapid Fire Tactics. And today, we have something fresh off the pressers for you. Brand new Pariah Nexus mission deck. New deployments, new primary missions, new mission rules. If you haven't done so already, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. All right? That would be greatly appreciated, and it helps me do what I need to do to bring it to you, the community that we love so much. All right? And don't forget, we also have OCS, Onslaught Candidate School, on our platform for you to watch, and Ops, which brings you great content with interviews, new information, complete breakdowns coming next week live for Pariah Nexus. So be prepared, all right, while we bring it to you. And now, let's get started with the show. Rapid Fire Tactics, new Pariah Nexus mission deck. Oh, look at these sweet deployments. Dawn of War. Now, it can fool you. It looks just like the older one in the Leviathan mission deck, right? But in Pariah Nexus, it is brand new. If you look closely, the deployment zones are 12 inches now, which means no man's land is less than 24. How much less? 4 inches less. So now it's 20 inches between both deployment zones. So you can get stuck in real fast and start crumping with your orcs or whatever else you have. Hammer and Anvil. Hammer and Anvil hasn't really changed. The only thing they did, and much appreciation to Games Workshop, is they added the measurements for all of the objective markers. Pretty sweet, isn't it? Search and Destroy. Same deal. One of my favorites, if not my most favorite in the Leviathan set. Same deal. Nothing has changed, except they added measurements for all of the objective markers. Like I said before, pretty sweet. Tipping Point. Now, this is a new one, and I love this one very much, and I'm interested into playing this deployment. If you look very closely on the big steps for each deployment zone, you'll see that they're up to 20 inches. And if you know, the long table edge is only 60, which puts that at 20 inches for no man's land. That's very close for either your shooting army to get in position to shoot the enemy, or for my orcs to get crumping very fast. Either way, you're going to have a blast. Crucible of Battle. Same mission, same deployment. Nothing has really changed. Objective markers have measurements on them. Very cool. I love this deployment. Continues to be the same that it's always been. Now, Sweeping Engagement. This is a new one. This is like Dawn of War, but a little bit more intricate. Don't let those measurements fool you. That just are positions for you to kind of put your objective markers in place and for you to measure out your deployment zones. And if you look closely, it's 44 inches. So you're going to have 14 inches from tip to tip on the big steps, which makes your no man's land deployment a lot shorter. Now, this is what we all came here for. Primary missions. First one, Purge the Foe. So we're going to start off by telling you the objective, how it gets scored out, maximum VP, and my tips and tricks to you. And it's going to go like that for every single primary mission and mission rule. Purge the Foe. The objective, exterminate enemy units. Scoring. Any battle round, 4 VP if one or more enemy units are destroyed. Second battle round onwards, 4 VP if more enemy units than friendly units are destroyed. Also, In the command phase, 4 VP for controlling one or more objective markers, plus an additional 4 VP if you have more than your opponent. Maximum VP for this one, 12. 4 VP for unit destruction, 4 VP for objective markers, plus 4 VP for more markers than your opponent. Tips and tricks. Make sure you focus on early eliminations. Or don't. If you're a shooting army and you don't want to get stuck in or you don't have the positioning, you got to do what you got to do. But my world eaters or orcs are going to try to get stuck in as fast as possible. Maintain control over objective markers for additional points also. Burden of trust. The objective, guard strategic prizes. Scoring. Second battle round onwards, in the command phase, 4 VP per objective marker controlled outside the deployment zone. Units must guard the marker. Second battle round onwards, opponent scores 2 VP for each of the units within range of and guarding an objective marker. Maximum VP per turn. Second onwards. Could be variable, right? It depends on how many markers you're controlling and guarding. My tips and tricks to you. Move units to control and guard markers outside deployment zone. And be cautious of opponents' units within range of their markers. Linchpin. The objective, hold the center and critical areas. Scoring. Second battle round onwards in the command phase, 3 VP for each objective marker controlled in your deployment zone. Also, 3 VP for controlling the objective marker in the deployment zone, and 5 VP for other markers. So, maximum VP per round from the second battle round onwards is variable once again. The maximum depends on markers controlled. Tips. Control and secure objectives in your deployment zone and hold the center for maximum points. Next one, supply drop. The objective is to secure supply drop coordinates. Scoring. From the second battle round onwards in the command phase, 5 VP in the second and third battle rounds. 8 VP in the fourth battle round, 15 VP in the fifth battle round. Maximum VP per round is up to 15 in the fifth battle round. My tips and tricks to you. Prioritize controlling markers in no man's land. It's very important for this. Plan ahead for high value rounds. The ritual. The objective is finish a ritual. Scoring. Second battle round onwards in the command phase, 5 VP per objective marker in no man's land, up to 15 VP per turn. So, once again, maximum VP is 15 per round. My tips and tricks to you. Set up and control objective markers in no man's land. And don't forget to complete the ritual action for more markers. Scorched Earth. The objective. Burn what cannot be secured. Scoring. Anytime, 5 VP for burning an objective marker in no man's land, 10 VP if it's in your opponent's deployment zone. From the second battle round onwards in the command phase, 5 VP per objective marker controlled up to 10 VP per turn. So, maximum VP, 10 VP per turn. My tips and tricks to you. Burn key markers. Make sure you get them away from those key markers and you burn them as quick as possible. Or hold on to them. Depends on your playstyle and what you want to do. Control markers for continuous points if you choose to. Next, unexploded ordnance. The objective for this one is to handle volatile hazards. Scoring. Second battle round onwards, end of each player's turn. 8 VP for each hazard marker in opponent's deployment zone, 5 VP for markers within 6 inches of the opponent's deployment zone, and 2 VP for markers within 12 inches of the opponent's deployment zone. Maximum VP per round, up to 8 VP per marker. Tips and tricks from me to you. Move hazard markers towards enemy territory as quick as you can. Strategically place and control hazard markers. Don't let them go, or your opponent's going to take those points away from you. Take and hold. The objective for this one is to secure strategic locations. Scoring. Second battle round onwards in the command phase, 5 VP per objective marker controlled, up to 15 VP per turn. Maximum VP per turn is 15. Once again, it's 15. That's a lot of VP very quickly. So make sure to grab yours. My tips to you. Control and hold strategic objective markers and maintain consistency to maximize your points. And last one, terraform. This is a brand new one. Objective for this one is dominate the battlefield and landscape. Scoring. Second battle round onwards in the command phase, 4 VP for each objective marker controlled, 2 VP for each objective marker terraformed. Maximum VP for this one per turn is 15. Another high scoring primary mission. I love it. My tips and tricks. Perform terraform actions on markers very quickly and maintain control to score cumulative points. Stack them up as fast as you can. Now on to the mission rules. First up is hidden supplies. The objective for this one is to utilize uncovered hidden supplies. Rules. When drawn, discard if drawn with the ritual. Placement. Set up one additional objective marker in no man's land and move existing ones. My tips and tricks delivered straight to you. Use the additional objective marker to your advantage and follow specific placement rules to set up markers strategically. Adapt or die. The objective for this one is to adapt strategy swiftly. Rules: fix missions once per battle. Discard a secondary mission card after scoring VP and replace it. For tactical missions, twice per battle, draw any other secondary mission card and shuffle one back into the deck. Tips and tricks. Use this rule to adapt and optimize your strategy based on current game dynamics. Make sure you choose the right one. You might have it set up and right in front of your face. You never know. Fog of War. Objective: navigate confusion. Rules: first battle round, units have benefit of cover and players cannot use core stratagems excluding New Order stratagem. Tips to you. Plan your moves considering the cover benefits and limited stratagem usage in the first battle round. So, once again, I'm going to keep on bringing it up. Orcs are going to try to get stuck in very fast. Get crumping on that first turn. Next one, prepared positions. The objective for this one is to utilize defensive strategies. Rules: use go to ground and heroic intervention stratagems for battle line units, 0 CP, but not on different units in the same turn. Tips: strengthen your battle line's position with these stratagems for better defense. Inspired leadership. Lead from the front is the objective. The rules in short form is, while the warlord is not in a deployment zone, add 1 to the battle shock test for units within 9 inches and visible to the warlord. This is going to be great for my orcs that I keep on talking about. Don't worry. The more I talk about orcs, the more you're going to love them. And my tips and tricks to you for this mission rule. Keep your warlord close to key units to boost their morale and performance. Raise banners. Now, I love this one. I've been seeing people already start painting up their banners. These brings those back. I love it. It's more of a three-dimensional game. When you add that to the tabletop, I can start painting them, and it becomes a lot more of a fun game. Raising banners objective is to announce conquests. The rules for this one is at the end of each player's turn, battle line units raise a banner on objective markers, scoring 1 VP, and can no longer raise banners on that marker. My tips to you: use battle line units to raise banners early to secure additional points. Next one. Oh, smoke and mirrors. I feel like I'm at a carnival here with all of those weird mirrors, right? The objective here is outmaneuver the opponent. After deployment for the rules is place 1 unit into strategic reserves. Points values cannot exceed 25% of the total points limit for the chosen battlefield. My tips to you: use this rule to reposition key units and surprise your opponent. Make sure to use that advantageously. It's obviously predicated on what you're doing in your game and how it's being played out, but try to look for those key moments. Stalwart. Proved worth objective. Rules. Battle line units can still shoot after performing an action and perform actions while within engagement range of enemy units. That is pretty sweet. And you're going to really see the benefits of having battle line units. My tips to you: utilize battle units to perform critical actions without compromising their combat abilities. Oh yeah, baby. Even though orcs can't shoot, we're still going to try, and we're still going to crump. Rapid escalation. Once again, deploy swiftly is the objective. The rules are: first battle round, set up battle line units from strategic reserves within 6 inches of any battlefield edge, but not in an enemy deployment zone. Points total cannot exceed 10% of the total points limit. All right. So for most of you who play 40K, like me, competitively, 2,000 points, right? No more than 10% of that. And my tricks to you: rapidly deploy units to strategic locations to gain an early advantage. And the last one, swift action. And this is a new one for Pariah Nexus. The objective of this one: act quickly. Rules. Battle line units that advance or fell back can still perform an action in that turn. So this is where another mission rule is going to really show their worth in battle line units. My tips and tricks to you: use the mobility of battle line units to perform actions while repositioning. Battle line units are going to be very beneficial. A lot of people were concerned if battle line units are going to really be mandatory for Pariah Nexus. I think they're going to have a lot more value now. So make sure to add 1 or 2 into your list. They're going to make sure that you get those points back, especially if the tournament organizer is playing mission rules like this, right? That can really affect how you score throughout your games. And in conclusion, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. And like I told you, it would take around 20 to 25 minutes. This is rapid fire tactics. It's going to be very quick, and we're going to try to bring you the most exciting content that we can, specifically Pariah Nexus, that comes out in a few days. Thank you so much. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit up that thumbs up.